Welcome to Season 4 of the To Health With That podcast, where we break up big health topics into small bites. I'm your host, naturopathic Dr. Amy Noozle, and this season we'll dive into something we are all familiar with: fatigue. What is it? Why does it happen? Most importantly, how can we fix it outside of this? Coffee. Enjoy the video version of this podcast on YouTube. The channel is at To Health With That. This week, let's talk about healing your adrenals. We'll talk about the lifestyle component, but this ended up being too long a conversation, so we'll save supplements for next episode. So, in the last few episodes, we've talked about how adrenals are the fall guy for modern life, right? Because they have evolved to deal with the stressors that our ancestors maybe 1,000 generations ago would have faced. Now, in another 1,000 generations, they will have adapted to the types of stressors that we face now, but we're kind of in the middle of the sandwich here. So it's really important to understand how to heal your adrenals and nourish and protect them against future damage. In this post, I'll talk about healing your adrenals from phase 2 adrenal fatigue, which I call tired but wired, or phase 3 adrenal fatigue, which I call burning down. Once your adrenals are actually in phase 4, burned out, you will probably need to work with a practitioner who uses glandulars or hormones or cortisol replacement to restore the normal cortisol curve. It is possible without hormones, but it takes much longer, like years. So there's quicker ways to do that. Please remember, this is a general idea of how to proceed, and it does not constitute medical advice because I don't actually know you as a human. You should talk to your own doctor or healthcare team before starting anything medical that you hear or read or see on the internets or in the podcast or whatever. So here is healing your adrenals without adrenal hormones, the lifestyle piece. Lifestyle changes are actually a crucial component to healing adrenal fatigue because your lifestyle is what got you into this mess in the first place. These are also, unfortunately, some of the hardest changes to make because your lifestyle is the way it is for some very good reasons. First off, reality check. I understand there are times in life when you don't have a choice. You have to push through because that's how life goes, right? If your partner gets sick and you need to pick up the slack, your parents need caretaking, your children have extra troubles, you still have to pay the bills, blah, blah, blah. I understand. Do what you can. In terms of a healthy adrenal lifestyle, here are the important things. Choose a regular bedtime and stick to it as much as humanly possible, preferably 10 p.m. or earlier. And even if you aren't sleeping at this time, lay quietly in your bed in the dark, because part of what we're doing is trying to reestablish a normal, healthy circadian rhythm. Also choose a regular waking time and stick with that as well, even on weekends and non-working days if possible. You can always add an afternoon nap into the mix if your life permits an afternoon nap, but it's really important to have that sleep-wake time be regular. Make sure you're using no screens, and I mean no screens, right? For the hour before bedtime, and that you turn the lights low in your house. This really matters. Switch to table lamps, right? Turn off the overheads. It's nice. It's a nice quiet ambiance. Get bright light first thing when you wake up. 10 or 15 minutes will do it. If you can go outside, amazing. If it's not bright light outside or you can't take the time, invest in a full spectrum light. There's things called happy lights that are great. You can just turn them on and do whatever you need to do in the morning in front of that light for 10 to 15 minutes. Again, this is all about your circadian rhythm. Before breakfast, have 16 ounces of water with a good pinch of Himalayan salt, sea salt, or half salt. Half salt is a mixture of sodium and potassium. That helps your adrenal balance because remember, those poor little adrenals are also helping with fluid balance. Again, talk to your doctor about this part because if you have kidney issues, you're salt restricted or you're water restricted, you need to find a workaround here. 3 meals a day, good amount of protein with every meal. Limit the starchy, sugary, carb-rich foods. I know that is exactly what you're craving when your adrenals are not doing so good, but those sugary and the high glycemic load also forces your adrenals to work harder. So try to limit those. 1 to 2 cups of coffee in the morning and no caffeine after noon o'clock. I know that's hard. I am myself a coffee-holic, but 1 to 2 cups. Oh, none of the sugary energy drinks, sugary sodas. No. Those are off the menu. Also, you don't need the extra caffeine. If you can get gentle movement for 10 to 20 minutes in the morning, that would be great. Do something that nourishes you, though. This is not the time to be like, I'm going to be an athlete. Yeah, no. Take it easy. Give your body a break. I'm just looking for something that gently moves the fluids around your body and moves your muscles. So like gentle yoga, walking in nature, dancing, something that helps your body move and feel connected, but doesn't actually push you athletically, because you don't need to be pushed athletically if you're dealing with adrenal fatigue. This is not the time to be meeting your athletic goals. This is the time to nourish and rest your body. Over the course of the day, drink at least 4 more 16-ounce glasses of water with that little pinch of a good salt in it. Not talking table salt, never table salt, okay? If you're on a salt or water restricted diet, again, talk to your physician. So the full list, just so you don't have to frantically write it all down, is in the blog post that's linked to this podcast episode, and I will put that link in the show notes so you can have all of this in a written, much easier format. Now, the biggest and most important thing here is actually mindset. So the most difficult part of healing your adrenals, because we already know you like to push yourself hard, is not pushing yourself, right? You wouldn't be in this place if you weren't a pusher, and you're here. So changing your mindset is crucial. So I want you to think of doing half or even a third of what you feel like you're capable of doing today. So instead of stacking your list the way you normally would, do less than what you think you're capable of, even with your energy level today, right? Even if you're bottomed out, do less than what you think you can. Definitely the hardest part. Share this with a friend if you think they may be struggling with adrenal fatigue. Next episode, we'll talk about the supplements you can use to help your struggling adrenals.